Right now, we will broadcast for you the news in English on Radio Free Syria.
Welcome to our news hour from Radio Free Syria. I am MarwanKADRO and I will be with you during this news hour. We will start with the headlines. Local coordination committees in Syria. Within the end of Monday, the coordination committees were able to document 109 marchers, including 15 children and 9 women, and a marcher under torture. 41 marches in Aleppo, 33 marches in Damascus and its suburbs, 10 marches in Idlib, 10 marches in Homs, 8 marches in Dar'a, 5 marches in Deir ez-Zor, and 2 marches in Hama. The LCC documented 302 points of shelling. 16 points were shelled by warplanes, 3 points by cluster bombs, 1 point by thermobaric bomb, and 1 point by barrel bombs. Artillery shelling was reported in 161 points, mortar shelling in 74 points, and missile shelling in 67 points. The FSA clashed with the regime forces in 135 locations, in which the FSA liberated Jarrah military airport, controlled it completely, and arrested all the soldiers inside it. The FSA blocked a huge military convoy attempting to reach Sabil roundabout and forced it to retreat. FSA will also block attempts by the regime forces to storm Tal Aran, and that happens all in Aleppo. In Deir ez-Zor, the FSA targeted missiles brigade building by several shells and liberated the industrial institution, which is considered as a gathering for Shabiha, and controlled the whole road between Aleppo provinces, Deir ez-Zor and Raqqa. In Dar'a, the FSA liberated Harsh checkpoint in Dar'a al-Balad, shelled the artillery battalion by mortars, targeted 2 security cars which attempt to storm Basra al-Harir, and killed the soldiers inside them, and blocked many attempts to storm Yaduda town. In Damascus, FSA liberated Musiqiya barricades in Jobar, stormed a building for the Republican Guard in Adra in Damascus suburb, targeted Msharqa barracks in Zablatani by several shells, liberated Zamalka Bridge checkpoint, liberated also buildings that were used by the regime forces as headquarters near to the bridge after clashes lasted for several hours, and blocked attempts by the regime forces to storm Arbil city. The FSA also destroyed several military vehicles belonging to the regime forces in different parts of Syria. We will start this time from the province of Al-Riqqa. Heavy shelling on the countryside of Al-Riqqa as the Assad forces have used Scud missiles, which resulted in the death of 3 people. It also resulted in heavy destruction of the buildings and infrastructure. Another Scud missile was dropped on the village of Al-Huwayja in Riqqa's eastern countryside. In Damascus and its suburb, renewed shelling on the southern areas of Damascus using heavy artillery and mortars. As for Damascus suburbs, heavy shellings on the cities of Daraya and Mu'addamit al-Sham as they used tanks and rocket launchers. As heavy bombardments on Saqba city continues, heavy shelling with warplanes also on Al-Abada and Kafr Batna and Zamalka as heavy battles took place on the southern ring road. Moving to Homs, heavy shelling with tanks on Homs as helicopters have flown above the city. The Assad forces have entered the neighborhood of Karm al-Shami as they arrested several civilians. Several marchers have been found dead near the checkpoint that surrounds Qal'at al-Madiq in Homs countryside. Moving to Dar'a, heavy shelling using warplane and heavy artillery on several villages of Dar'a countryside, which resulted in martyrs. Also heavy bombardments on Dar'a's neighborhood as the Assad forces have used mortars and heavy artillery to shell the area. In Deir ez-Zor, the FSA was able to liberate yet another security building that was in hands of the Assad regime. The Free Syrian Army was also able to target the ammunition warehouse of the 113th Brigade. General news now. The head of the Syrian National Council, Mr. George Sabra, said that the explosion that was yesterday at the Turkish-Syrian border was targeting his delegation that was on his way from Syria to Turkey. Former head of the National Council, Abdel Basit Seida, also added that the explosion targeted his delegation that came from a very important meeting inside Syria. The Minister of National Dialogue, Ali Haidar, said that he is ready to meet Mr. Muaz al-Khatib outside Syria. He added to The Guardian, I am prepared to meet Mr. Muaz al-Khatib in any city outside Syria. He added this meeting will result in a free parliament and presidential elections in Syria. He refused the plan of Khatib for a transit of power. Ali Haidar proposed Geneva as a place to meet. However, Muaz al-Khatib early suggested the liberated areas of Aleppo to meet with representatives of the regime. The Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said that the solution in Syria has to be a diplomatic one without any interfere from the outside. This was it for today. Thank you very much for listening. I am MarwanKADRO. Along with me, Executive Manager Islam Al-Idlbi. Please follow us on freesyrianradio.webs.com. You can also reach us through Skype on Syrian42. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Right now, we will broadcast for you the news in English on Radio Free Syria.